Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the E-Report. And as you know, even though we couldn't have our live stream yesterday, we're having the episode brought to you today. This is our special segment, the Youth Wisdom. We will bring to you young people with great minds, entrepreneurs, people with visions, movements that are changing the world and society that we're living in today. And with us, this is a special guest. Before getting to our guest of today, please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't get any of our subsequent videos. So, our special guest for today, I like to call her Powerhouse. She's very, very industrious and multi-talented, I would say. Welcome, Dindze Olive.
Thank you very much, Doris. It's a pleasure.
I like the fact we're having so many girls starting here. It's like a girl, like just a girl stock. Very dressy. You're looking very pretty.
Thank you so much. You don't look bad either.
Okay. All right. All right. Welcome so much to the show. Like, we're going to have a lot of discussion on all the things you're into. You're into so many things now.
Yeah.
So many things.
I am trying to tone it down, but I am into so many things.
And I love that. I love the aspect of getting into many things as long as you're doing the things properly and you're someone that does a lot of things but still does them so well. So,
thank you.
I'd like to ask everybody.
All right.
Who is Dindze Olive?
Okay, so Dindze Olive, first of all, is trained as a civil engineer, a geotechnician to be specific. And on the side, a lot of people know me as a makeup artist and hairstylist. So I try to specialize in bridal makeup and hairstyling.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, I tend to want to do a lot for my community. So in my field of road safety, of engineering, I wanted to extend it to something that I have a particular love for, which is transport. So I do some community work related to transport and road safety. So people know me for that as well. So that is who I am.
I can say, ladies and gentlemen, a lot. Like, the list is so long that she's doing so well in everything that she's involved with. That's why I really wanted her to be a guest on this episode.
Oh, thank you.
And she also has a channel, YouTube channel. Can you tell us so that people can go and check that out?
Okay, so I have a knack for personal development. So during my free time, I create content around personal development, and I just showcase a lifestyle that tries to encourage young people to focus on their personal and professional development, of course, because the two are important. So I have a YouTube channel on that, and it's just my name, Dindze Olive. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So that's a lot that we are going to be dissecting. So we'll start from one. I'm going to move bit by bit.
Looking forward to that.
With makeup.
Okay.
Makeup, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
So how did you get into makeup? Like, decide that, okay, I want to be a makeup artist. I want things as a job, career. Did you start like that?
Okay, so I guess it was that point in every young person's life where they realize that it's becoming uncomfortable to call mom and ask for money for my lotion, call mom and ask for money for my hair.
Brush,
Yeah. That was in 2020. I think during the COVID lockdown, I felt so idle. I felt so idle, and I wanted to do something with my hands, but I realized that I wasn't that handy. I didn't know how to do things with my hands, so I was stuck on the internet, and it's addictive. It's not good for your mental health. So I wanted something else that I could spend time doing, apart from just surfing the net. And at that point, I was like, if you do not know how to do something with your hands, you're going to have to learn how to do something with your hands. So I started making plans to learn. So immediately the lockdown was over, I traveled to Bamenda because I was in Yaoundé. I traveled to Bamenda, and then I learned makeup, and later on I learned bridal hairstyling. So that is how it started off.
Okay, so were you already someone that loved makeup before you started taking makeup just like a career, or just like, you're like, okay, maybe I can try and makeup, and you start like building the love for it? How did this start?
No, I'm not very, my family members, they look at me as a young girl who doesn't act like a young girl. So they knew that she hated doing hair, she hated doing makeup.
I can relate.
Yeah.
I can relate.
And I was that weird girl in the family, you get. So they were all surprised when I went to Bamenda and I was like, I'm going for makeup lessons. And they were like, seriously, what happened? I'm like, I just want to learn how to do something. And then when I started, I loved it actually. I didn't expect that I was going to love it as much as I did. So yeah, that's how it came along. I didn't know that I had it in me, but when I started, I think the potential just flourished. And then I kept on upskilling from there.
Okay, do you think that you getting into like makeup as an art now made you love makeup for yourself as a person?
Yeah, definitely. It did, because I think that the makeup wasn't just about I don't know, getting products. I always say that it's not just about getting products applied to a person's face. It made me more confident in myself, because when I was in the field, I realized that I was kind of lacking in confidence. I saw people who did things that were not even close to what I did. It was not even as good as what I did, but they went out there and presented their work with a lot of pride. And somehow I was that person who always wanted it to be perfect before I put it out there. So yeah, makeup it helped me in a lot of things. So I've loved it more than just makeup.
Okay, I think I also really have to look into this makeup issue because I am terrible at it. Not only because it's not like I prefer myself without it, but also because I'm not being able to learn.
Wow.
I'm not able to learn.
Honestly, I think that the reason why a lot of people do not like it is because there are a lot of people out there who call themselves makeup artists, but they just go out and do too much. They just do too much, and a human being should be comfortable in their skin. You can't paint a person and make them look like what, I don't know, a clown, and expect them to go out and be confident and be happy about themselves that looking that way. So, and that has helped me to refine my makeup game, because I understand that a lot of people do not like makeup because a lot of artists go out there and do a lot. So yeah, really I think my what should I say, my reference has always been keep it low. Keep it low, okay. Yeah, tone it down, like keep it natural, let the person be comfortable in their skin. That is the
I love that.
goal. Yeah,
I love that.
A lot of people love that actually, and I think that a lot of makeup artists are not yet paying attention to that.
They should. They should, because
they definitely
I don't like whenever I see like someone steps in to do makeup, and when they step out, it's not the same person.
It's not the same person. They're just trying to do too much. They're trying to do a mini surgery. I don't know. They just want to transform the person, and it doesn't speak well, and I don't think that we makeup artists should be doing that.
I think something else when it comes to makeup that might be the reason why I don't get much is the fact that the chemicals that they put I feel they might actually like disturb my skin. So how do people go about like using makeup on clients? Like, do you know, okay, this makeup might have this effect for maybe this client's skin type, because skin types matter as well when you're doing makeup.
Exactly.
So do you like look into, okay, this I will not use on this client for this particular reason, or I don't use particular brand of makeup because of the products they have in it?
I think the fact that people compromise is not lack of knowledge. They are trying to make more financial gains, because even in the makeup industry there are different brands of makeup, and there are brands that are known for good quality. There are brands that are clinically tested. Okay. Yes, there are others that are not. So when you go out for more expensive products, that means that you're going to have to charge higher, and when you charge higher, I know people want what is cheap.
That's
the majority
true too.
Of people want what is
true.
cheap, and that becomes a problem. So people compromise not because they do not know. It's not a lack of knowledge. It's simply because they are trying to make more financial gains, because there are good makeup products out there and there are bad makeup products out there. There are brands that have made their name and have a good reputation and actually do what they say they do. So you, as a makeup artist, I believe that most of us know those things. We know those things. We just sometimes want to take shortcuts or want to compromise in a way that is unethical. Yes. So that is it.
So what do you say are certain challenges you've had starting out as a makeup artist, like in your line of work, maybe from the start? What are certain challenges you have? Maybe challenges you have now? Have you outgrown certain challenges? Tell us about that.
Okay. When I started makeup, I entered into it like a craft. I didn't look at it like a business.
Okay.
You see, yeah, initially I didn't look at it like a business, and so down the line I had to start learning the business of makeup. So I just did makeup, and I ended up having uh, interactions with clients that were not the best, or having to argue with one or two people, or having to work underpriced, I don't know, something of that sort. I ended up doing that so much for a long time actually, before I realized, oh, this is actually a business and I've got to start treating it like a business.
Yeah.
And then when you realize that you're dealing with a business, you have to go out there and learn what business people actually do. Learn how to treat your craft as a business. So I had to monetize it. That was the difficulty that I faced. So I think a lot of young girls are out there learning skills, learning how to do makeup, learning how to do hair, but they are not learning how to be business men and women. And that is a problem.
And that's a very good point you've set across, because when it comes to learning a craft, initially you might just be like, okay, I want to learn this particular craft. But at one point you have to realize, okay, if this has to be a business that I'm going to make profit from, you have to learn the business aspect behind that craft you have taken.
Exactly.
Because people get into work, they get some skills and they don't understand, like maybe a graphic designer, whatever, they understand there's a business behind this particular skill you've learned, that you have to now understand the business side of it.
Yeah.
That's very important. So when it comes to the makeup per se, what are certain strengths that you feel you have? Because I believe everybody, especially something that a lot of people do, because I say some people might be like, they like doing their makeup themselves at home. Like I think I would like to maybe learn personally and maybe one day do it at home. But I believe when it comes to a makeup artist that specializes maybe weddings, like you say you do, that's something that you feel like you have power in, or something you're really good at when it comes to makeup. What is your PowerPoint, I say, in your art?
So, well, concerning that, I want to start with experience. It's not because you know how to do your brows, or you know how to apply foundation, that you are apt to be called a bridal makeup artist. Experience aspect of it is very important, because when we go out and do several jobs, we learn a lot of things, we experience a lot of things, we see a lot of things, and we know how to interact with clients. Like I usually get reviews, especially from brides, saying that it wasn't just about the makeup, but the way that you were able to keep the atmosphere calm. You were able to tone down the pressure, because brides are usually stressed.
I can imagine. That
Yes,
should be
they are
stressful
usually
day for
stressed. The
everybody.
way you were able to reassure me, that is something that comes with experience. Not everybody can do that. So I would say that perhaps on my wedding day, I would want to get a different makeup artist to do my makeup. Because I feel like I will be stressed with a lot of things, and I
they
know
can
what a
help
good
you.
makeup artist
Yeah.
does. So because that pressure, the stress that you're going through would make you miss that opportunity to enjoy your big day. Yes, and makeup artists, they usually come in to do that. Good makeup artists, I have to specify, they usually come in to do that. And then also I think that apart from the experience, the fact that you go deep into the art to want to know more, the fact that you do research is very important, because it's not because a person knows how to apply foundation that they are going to know what happens. Perhaps, for example, some foundations tend to oxidize in open air, and they change color.
Interesting.
Yeah. So a person who knows how to apply foundation will not necessarily know this. It takes a professional to know this. Yeah, and know that, okay, if I'm going to do this, I may have matched maybe the person's skin to the foundation really well, the foundation to the person's skin really well, but later on during the day it became something else, and then you don't understand what went wrong. That is something that's an additional advantage that a makeup artist has. Yeah, a professional has. So that is what I would say is what makes me different from the other people who can do makeup.
Experience, love.
Yeah.
Also that experience.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a question. When I look at makeup artists and some certain types of maybe jobs that people do, I feel like there's a point that maybe you might not go above. Like you might get the experience, and there's a point where you have the experience, you cannot cross that experience. I don't know if it's the same makeup. Like when I see people, maybe they're doing makeup, I feel like it's the same thing, just a little bit of spice here and there. Do you feel like there is that point in makeup where you feel like, okay, I don't learn more again? Or you are forever learning makeup? Do you feel like there's that forever learning aspect in makeup, or there's that point you're like, okay, I think at this point I just need to like spice things up, but I know everything I'm supposed to know.
I think I wouldn't say there is a point where you get it all, you attain all of it. No, you have to keep learning, you have to keep upskilling. Because even in the makeup business, things continue changing. Things continue changing like really fast. We have new products, we have new techniques, so you need to keep upskilling and you need to stay up to date. And apart from the craft, you need to think of how to scale up your business because it becomes tricky. You then ask yourself as a makeup artist, what do? I can only work on one face at a time. It's not as if I can get myself to work on 10 faces at a time at a certain point. You now need to learn how to scale up the business around it. Maybe a lot of people go into starting their own makeup brands. A lot of people go into partnerships with some other people in showbiz and stuff like that. And then a lot of people just want to create impact. They open their own beauty institutions and try to teach the younger ones not just the art but also the business in the art. So there are a lot of things to do, but as I said, you need to look at it like a business person and not just an artist.
Yeah. Okay. So when you've talked about the fact that you're also civil engineer, makeup artist, it's a lot. So I believe you started doing your makeup while you were still in school, because I believe you just
I did.
Got the civil engineer masters.
Yeah, I just got
and congratulations on that. That was,
thank you so much.
That's powerful. I'm looking to finish mine.
Thank you. You get there. It's all right.
So how was it like juggling the two? Do you feel like it was stressful? Was it more easy to go? Was it like easier to go about it, or was it somehow stressful?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was stressful. Personally, I found it easy.
Okay.
Yeah, personally, I found it easy because I already found my footing in the civil engineering school at the point when I learned makeup. So, and makeup, the advantage that I had was that I was my own boss. So I could do what I want whenever I wanted. So what I wanted whenever I wanted to do it. So it was easy to juggle the two. But of course, with a lot of self-discipline. Because if you are not careful, the should I say the love for money, surpasses the love to get that degree. And that in that case it becomes dangerous, because when we usually say that when a person starts earning, it's difficult for them to pursue other things. They want to keep earning more and more. So I had to watch myself in order not to have the love for the money that I was earning for makeup surpass the love for the engineering. And that would mean a lot of self-discipline. Tell yourself you're going to study for this course at this time, you study for this course at this time. Tell yourself you're going to practice creating this new look at this time, you practice creating this new look at this time. It wasn't easy. I'm not saying that it's a bed of roses, but it's something that can be done. Yeah, and I think that anybody that is trying to juggle a side business and school, it's possible, it's really possible, but it takes self-discipline, we must see.
Self-discipline is the word, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right, so when you're looking into doing makeup, what is the hardest part? And maybe what's like one experience that you had that you wish you never had? Because I know there are always these embarrassing makeup experiences. I think if you've been someone with as much experience as you have actually had such an experience before. So just tell us what is very difficult about it, and maybe an experience that you wish you never had with a client.
Anyway, I would say the most difficult part of it, it hasn't really been on the client's face. It's been in my interactions with the client.
Okay.
Yes, it's been in my interactions with the clients. Because sometimes I have this thing where I would get too familiar with my clients, get too close to my clients, and you know, familiarity sometimes breeds disrespect. Yeah. So I used to do that thing where they would I show them my price list, and they would be like, okay, can we talk about it a little when you come? I'm like, okay, we can talk about it a little. I'm a bit flexible. And then when I get there, perhaps I do the makeup, and then later on they're like, they want to pay less than maybe we agree.
After agreeing on
it. Yeah, after agreeing on it. And when you try to disagree, they'll be like, but it's just makeup. and then that pisses me off.
It should.
That pisses me
It
off.
should.
Because I tell you, there are like a million makeup artists out there. You did not call them. You wanted me. You were very specific about it. You wanted me. And then when you have me do the work, suddenly it's just makeup. You could have called those other makeup artists. So with time, I had to learn to deal with such people. We agree, and there is a percentage. It's really clear. There is a percentage that you're supposed to give me before the makeup, before I ever see you, and there's a percentage that you will give me after I've done the work, and it's immediately after I've done the work. Because there's this thing that brides do here. You go for their wedding and you prepare them for their wedding. Everybody's rushing, everybody's in a rush, the photographer is trying to take pictures and videos and so on, and then they're like, okay, there's a lot of pressure on my head right now, can you just go back so that later on when I'm done with everything I can now do a transfer? And I'm like, okay. Most of the times I'll be like, I'm an understanding person. I'm just going to...
It's her wedding.
It's her wedding. I can't stress her on her wedding. And then you go back home, and then it's after the wedding, I don't know, they're tired. After they're tired, they're off to their honeymoon. You cannot get them on phone after. And then finally they do not pay you. They have done the wedding. They no longer say they were like, but I just used the makeup for one day. Suddenly it's no longer that important to them. So after such experiences, I'm now like, okay, the rules are now very clear, the policies are very clear. You read and you agree before you work. If not, we don't work. It's as simple as that. So yeah.
And from all you're saying, I get to find out that people really undermine makeup. Yeah. Like, I think it's something that at one point everybody needs to like maybe get for. Like, I think the fact that people can even say it's just makeup. I'm not someone who does makeup on a regular. Like, I really don't, because I don't know how to do it. But I can never go to a point of being like, it's just makeup, because I know the energy it takes to do it. I've tried. I have tried. I know the energy it takes to put in that in. So, like, when people come and be like, it's just makeup, do you feel like it's just maybe because of the fact that it's duration compared to the rest? Like, maybe with the wedding, you have photography, you have the food, you have other things that have been done the wedding. To people feel like, okay, just because I'm just going to put this on my face, just like one day there's someone undermining it, despite the fact that without it, it's going to look weird.
Yeah, I think that's usually the problem, because they feel like it's not something that's durable. I'm just going to do it once and take it off, and then it's not as if I can reuse it. So that is where the issue usually comes from. And I must say that the reason why makeup artists get really pissed when you say that is because when people see my work, for example, they appreciate the fact that it is, should I say, natural. It looks naturalish. Yes. And
doesn't do too much.
There is a big part of that is played by the products that we use, and those are expensive. So when people say that, when people see you and want that effect, yet they want to pay for the cheaper products, that's where it is annoying, because you know that you spent a lot of money buying those products, and yet a person wants the effect that those products give, but doesn't want to pay the price that those products deserve. So
yeah. That could be very offending. Like, when you go through your process of learning a skill, I think that's something that we should all take back home. It's like when you have gone through the process of learning a skill, especially when you're in the process of like maybe getting to the point, okay, I want to do this, I want to make money from it.
Yeah.
After taking that business mindset, you have to also take the strict rules to affecting the business mindset, because some people are going to try and undermine your work.
Exactly.
You try to pay less for what you do, and one has to be strict. So you also mentioned to us that you do a lot of community projects.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Okay, so as I already mentioned that I am a civil engineer and I have a special interest in transport. So I am part of this group of young people. We call ourselves Local Actions Cameroon.
Okay.
And what we do is that we try to drive change in safe, green and inclusive mobility. So we go out and we...
Can you say that again?
Safe, green and inclusive mobility. Okay. All right. So we're trying to reduce accidents. That safety, it incorporates the security aspect of it, accidents and maybe harassment, theft and so on. In mobility, then green, we're trying to reduce unhealthy emissions to the atmosphere, trying to encourage our systems to move towards greener, means of transport, and then inclusive, trying to make sure that the transportation, the infrastructure, and the services, that they have the needs of every person in mind, so that when our authorities come together to conceive projects, transport projects, road transport, to be specific, road transport, they have the needs of everybody in mind. Like, women are sufficiently represented on the table, people with disabilities are sufficiently represented, all these groups of marginalized people or less represented groups, they are well represented when these projects are being conceived, so that transport is safe, green, and inclusive. So what we do is that we draft community projects. So we draft a project and then we go out looking for funding organizations.
Okay.
Yes. So far we've had the Global Youth Coalition for Road Safety funding, and the United Mobility Fund, yes, funding. So they funded about 6 projects. We're at the 6th project right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so that is what I do, and I lead young people into this.
That's big. Okay, that's a lot.
It's as long as it's for the community.
It's great work. It's great work.
Yes, I think what is special about it, what I love about it, is that it gives a platform for young people to go out and give back to their community.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we are in an era where young people do not really sufficiently embrace the idea of giving back.
Giving back.
They are so focused on what they can gain. They are so focused on what they can gain. But I think that in as much as it is important to try to empower yourself, especially financially as a young person, it is also important to start building the mindset of giving back to the community. Yes, so we do that. And within the projects, I just try to mentor young people. Anybody who wants to volunteer in the projects, they come, they join us, and sometimes they join and they don't even have skills that they can name. You're like, okay, what are the skills that you want to use to volunteer with? And the person really doesn't have a skill that they can name. I'm like, all right, no problem. Can we start working on how you communicate with people? Maybe your task is just going to send mails. So you're going to have to learn how to send a professional email. Yes, and then
so in the process they learn new skills.
They learn new skills because you're working with young people. You do not expect, they do not have experience, working experience. So you have to make sure that there's a structured mentorship chain where the more experienced people teach the younger people, and so that we just keep it sustainable. So that is a bit of it. So
for how long has this movement been going on? And are there different branches to it or stuff? Do you have like a particular location that one can go there to meet you guys?
Okay, for now we partner with NGOs that try to impact the community as well. So I think you've heard of Open Dreams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the NGO that bridges educational gaps for high achieving, less privileged students. So we partner with them. So if you're trying to meet us, we'll probably be at the Open Dream Center. It's in Yaoundé, at Obili. In other towns, there is no specific location in other towns yet. So we just function from Yaoundé for now. And then
Obili.
Yes. Then we have a lot of activities sometimes at the National Advanced School of Public Works, because they are our partner as well. So so that is how we work.
So is there any particular project you guys are working on now that you feel like might interest someone out there wanting to give back to the community?
Okay, so there are 2 projects going on right now. First is Youth for Safe and Inclusive Mobility. The goal of this project is to render transport in Yaoundé, in the town of Yaoundé, safer and more inclusive to women and to people with disabilities. I think in like 2023, there was this issue of theft in taxis that skyrocketed.
I think it's still very, very, very available. I still hold my back like this. Taxi.
Well, I've been a victim. I lost my phone that
not
week.
Yet. I'm hoping never. Me, not yet.
So the number of cases reported became so high, and that's what gave the idea of that particular project. And that I felt personally affected though. So when I looked at how women their daily journeys it's different. It's not what men do.
It is.
A lot of men wake up and they have very defined journeys. Women do not have journeys as defined as that. There is a housewife who has to go to the market and get food stuff and then run to school and get the kids, and then she's all over the place. There's probably a husband who very probably has a car, a private vehicle for himself, who goes to the job site in the morning and comes back in the evening, maybe can make 1 or 2 stops here and there. So we understood that the needs of women in transportation are not the same as the needs of men in transportation. And then also the case there was just deplorable people with disabilities. So you wonder, you look at, let's even start from buildings, administrative buildings, public buildings. They don't have ramps. You wonder how a person in a wheelchair gets into those buildings. Then you talk about our roads. How does a person leave from the roadway to the shoulder? There is no ramp. How do they move? How does a blind person move on shoulders that are packed with vendors and obstacles up and down? So those were the needs that initiated the project Youth for Safe and Inclusive Mobility. And then the other project, Data Mobilized, that is about building a platform where data for road crashes in Cameroon, in Yaoundé to be specific. Well, we'll start from Yaoundé and try to scale it up. Yeah, where data could be managed, gathered together, because if we cannot sufficiently understand the problem, if we do not study the numbers, we need to get insights from the numbers, and then it is from these insights that we'll be able to predict what may be happening next and provide targeted solutions. Yes, so those are the 2 projects going on, Data Mobilized and Youth for Safe and Inclusive Mobility.
Yeah, when it comes to the issue of women and safety with transportation, I think what always sparks my attention more than the maybe stealing is the fact that I don't think people know how much women calculate before they take a particular bike or taxi. Like when I'm trying to take a bike, I'm like, is there somebody on the bike? Is it a man or a woman? I'm trying to take a taxi, I'm like, okay, I don't need men in that taxi.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just like I feel I'll be safer in a different sense.
It's like that. You vet a lot of things as a young lady.
That's a lot of things I think about.
Yeah, you vet a lot of things before you just get into public transport like that. There are a lot of things that you take into consideration. And I feel that the fact that this is going on and we are not putting it into consideration when conceiving our transport systems, because when the systems are made up of the infrastructure and the services, when we do not put this into consideration, the problem will prevail. Yeah. The problem will prevail. And it might sound like this is really is so far away, it's a far away goal to reach, but we have to start talking about it. We need to start talking about it, because I think that if we start talking about it in, say, 2025, maybe even if it is by 2030 that we start doing something about it, at least we started. Yeah, so it's necessary that we start talking about it. That's why a lot of our activities include creating awareness. Yes, creating awareness about the situation, because you need to engage the community to help you solve a problem. You need to start creating awareness. The society needs to start talking about it.
And it's very important that we do. It's important to create awareness on those things, because everybody, every day, like we have the women, the people maybe have that disabilities, because they have men and women. The women being the weaker sex, I would say, out there tend to have that insecurity issues when they're taking transportation. That is just a fact. We cannot deny it. So creating awareness really is important.
It is.
So that's a lot. Like I keep saying that's a lot, because that's so much, and I really appreciate that there are people out there who sit down and thought, okay, we should do this. We should somehow step in this particular gap that the society needs also step into. That's very powerful. So with everything I've heard, how can people get to you, Dindze Olive? How can people maybe get your services, get to know more about your channel, your work, maybe get you as a civil engineer, they want to get to build a house and stuff. Yeah, so
okay. I think people can get to me. I would love to say that they can get to me through different platforms for different reasons. Because I try to keep them separate so that they are organized Yes. So anything that concerns Dindze Olive in particular, that is very personal to Dindze Olive, you can find her Dindze Olive on Facebook.
Okay.
Yes, it's just Dindze Olive on Facebook, and I have a page. And then for the community projects, I said we call it Local Actions Cameroon. Yes, so you can find us on LinkedIn. Yes, you can find us on LinkedIn and on Facebook. And then for makeup and hairstyling,
Go and support that community project.
please do. Please do. And then for makeup and hairstyling, my business name is Glow by PT.
Ooh.
Letter P and letter T.
Okay, why? I cannot find though.
Okay, it's a long story, but I'll just try to give a brief. I started when I got to school. I started creating these little pamphlets that will help high school students, because I did really well in high school. I'm not bragging, but I did really well.
Okay. We're not bragging yet. We are not bragging.
We're not bragging.
We're not bragging.
So I started making these little pamphlets that would help them face their final examinations, and I called it a name. And then when I started the makeup, I was like, I'm not just going to be throwing efforts left and right. Let me just try to put them together into one thing. And I was like, okay, phenomenal touches. Yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
when I started makeup, it was like phenomenal touches, and later on it was a bit long, and I was like, okay, let's put it as Grow by PT. So that's how it came about.
I really like hearing the stories of how people come up with their names for their companies. There's always a background that is very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so that's how you can get to this. Or is there any other, maybe Instagram? You have Instagram account?
Instagram is for makeup and hairstyling, so it's Grow by PT. If you're trying to get to me personally, it's really just Facebook and YouTube. Those are the two that I do. Dindze Olive, it's just my name.
All right, so if you're looking to get glowed up, the phenomenal touch, and get to Dindze Olive,
send me a DM.
So we're coming to the end of this particular episode. If you have not yet liked this video, hurry, subscribe,
comment,
share. I mean, are you not getting blessed? I am blessed just sit here. All right, and before we're going to leave, just turn yourself to the audience and tell them what advice will you give to somebody looking to start maybe a makeup as an art, a business, looking to inspire the community, make a change. Just give us some few words of closure.
Okay, first I would say that whatever it is that you're trying to get into, you should get to start with an intentional pursuit of knowledge. It's very important. Whatever it is that you're trying to get to, pursue knowledge with a lot of intentionality. And submit yourself to structured mentorship. You are not the first to have started whatever it is that you're doing, and you're probably not going to be the last. So learn from people who've gone before you. Be humble enough to learn from people who've gone before you. Be humble enough to pursue knowledge. So those are the two things. I think that is empowerment, that is transformation, and it comes handy in whatever field. So I'll keep it at that.
That was powerful.
Thank
I
you.
really next time come with a jotter whenever I'm having these sessions, because I've learned a lot.
Doris, I'm hyping.
I'm not hyping.
No, you're hyping.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I've learned a lot at this point in time.
Okay.
Knowledge, mentorship.
Okay.
Kept down. You jot it down. Jot it down. So thank you very much for being here, Dindze.
Thank you for having me, Doris.
It was very great. And thank you guys for coming to the end of this particular episode. This is the A-Report, and this is a special segment, the Youth Wisdom. If you want the next guest know what to do, send us the message, and we are going to have a discussion like we had that beautiful Dindze here. So that's all for this episode, guys. Bye.